Hey, I'm Steve Oakers.
Julie Bacon.
Liz Keegan.
Sue Pastor.
And this is What's in the Cup.
Cheers.
Cheers. So today we have special guest Liz, Fair Housing, and we're talking about fair housing. And we know personality profiles because we're salespeople, and we had an episode on this. And some people like just data, right? So this is for you data nerds that wear glasses like Sue and I, right? Like, you know, yeah, it does. So Liz, can you just give us I think data is important to understand, like, what we know, we're going to go into what is fair housing, but really, like, where does data prove, and what are we seeing in the marketplace that we're in right now, and how do we help?
So there's two ways that our casework, the data informs us. I like to think of it in terms of the allegations that come from the community based on the protected classes.
Okay, so back up a second. What is an allegation, and why would anybody, like?
So when you feel like you've been exposed to housing discrimination and you want to report it, that's an allegation of housing discrimination.
And they report that to your organization.
I've been treated like differently, a higher rental cost, more hoops to jump through for my background check, those kinds of things. Any difference in treatment can result in an allegation of housing discrimination.
And those allegations are based on the 9 protected classes in Michigan. And so what are those?
7 protected at the federal level. So we have race, skin color, religion, national origin, family status, meaning presence of children under the age of 18, physical or mental disability, gender. And then Michigan also adds marital status and age. Okay. So hopefully I got to 9. Yeah. Viewers, you can tell us if I missed one.
That was good.
Right?
Yeah.
So, when we have those cases that are coming to us and it turns out there is a fair housing violation or the potential for one, I think of the community telling us this is what we're experiencing. So those top 3 common bases that we're hearing the most about are, number 1, disability-based discrimination. That has shot to the top of the list for the last 3 years in West Michigan.
That's physical disability.
Or mental. So it's
Okay.
both covered. Followed by race, followed by discrimination against families with children. So, and West Michigan is an amazing place to have a family, and a lot of people identify that. I think that's why we're making all these, top 10 lists. So it surprises people to hear that we're not always very welcoming to families with children, right? So we really need to identify what we can do further about that, and that's where we develop the classroom programming that we'll talk a little bit more about. But we really, are informed by the community of what they're experiencing. We also then conduct random survey tests and do investigations based on our contracts with local government. That gives us the pulse of the market and housing discrimination in the market. And what we're seeing there is evidence of housing discrimination about 42% of the time. So a significant
What does that look
number
like?
of transactions.
Is that someone who's
That's
going
crazy.
to look at a house? I don't know what you call
It could be
them.
sales or rental. Yeah, so those are the
Yes.
volunteer testers
Got it.
that are trained to go experience the housing that's available. See how they're treated by a real estate agent, how they're treated at the bank when they're asking about loan information. We send out paired testers. So for a race-based test, it would be a white tester and a black
Property
tester.
managers, anybody renting.
Correct.
Right, it's not just those 2.
It's any housing transaction that would be open to the public that we could send volunteers in. And they bring back information, and we literally compare it side by side. And that's where you can see financial
Do you
differences.
trust Ryan Verwise and ICCF? I mean, you can't discriminate, right?
I don't work on that side, Ryan. I'm education. We actually maintain a firewall between the education and enforcement so that I can work with Ryan and his team. When they have questions, they feel comfortable calling and saying, Liz, we think this is a fair housing issue. What do you think? So we try to maintain that path for that relationship, and then also honor our commitment to the community to help enforce fair housing laws. And it's a delicate balance. So we really try to, hit that perfect match of meeting, again, folks wherever they are.
Okay. So our top 3, just to wrap it up, are, again, disability,
race-based discrimination, and then presence of children, families with children.
Okay. So I think in episode 3, we'd like to drill down maybe on how are you educating so those are becoming less, right? Which is ultimately the goal, right?
And maybe where we can help.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And have been helping,
Yes.
Well, thank you, Liz, for joining us. I'm Steve Oakers.
Julie Bacon.
Liz Keegan.
Sue Pastor.
This is What's in the Cup.
Cheers.
Cheers.